Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. Maybe you've heard the phrase, "Great Jumpin' Jehoshaphat." Then again, maybe not, although some people do say it. Regardless, most of us probably don't know that Jehoshaphat is a real person in the Bible, and most of us aren't familiar with his story at all. His story is found in the book of Second Chronicles, and frankly, that's not a place we turn to very often. You see, the story of the kings of Israel and Judah is told extensively in the books of 1st and 2nd Kings, and the books of 1st and 2nd Chronicles retells the same thing in a much less interesting way. Chronicles, as the name might suggest, is the court record from the king's throne rooms. But frankly, things do get a little more lively when it comes to Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat was a king in Jerusalem when he suddenly received word that three armies from three different nations had come together and were marching against them. If ever there were a time for panic, this was it. So Jehoshaphat called the whole nation to come to Jerusalem, to the temple, and once gathered to pray for deliverance. And that's just what they did. The next day, Jehoshaphat sent his own army out to meet the oncoming army, but he also did something very interesting. At the very front of his army, instead of having elite troops to engage the enemy, he put singers at the very front of his advancing troops. Singers? Can you believe that? Well, the thing is, Jehoshaphat knew what he was doing. You see, as they marched, they sang, and here is what they sang. "Give thanks to the Lord, for his steadfast love endures forever." Now, that's pretty amazing. Faced with an overwhelming threat, Jehoshaphat sent his army out, led by people singing praise and thanks to God. So often when we are under a threat of some kind, some illness or a job change or fears and worries, our focus tends to be on ourselves. We pray for deliverance like Jehoshaphat asked the people to do, but then we continue to tremble and to be filled with anxiety. But like Jehoshaphat, perhaps we would be better served to trust God. Perhaps we would be better served to march forward singing songs of thanksgiving for the deliverance we trust that God will do. That's a bold way of living faith. It's the way of trust. Just so you know, God did deliver Jehoshaphat and his people. Actually, God told them that he would take care of the battle, and all they needed to do was to stand still and watch. And sure enough, as the enemy armies drew near, they turned on each other and destroyed each other while Israel watched and didn't lose a soldier. Give thanks to the Lord, for his steadfast love endures forever, they sang. Time and time again, God's steadfast love is true for them and for us. Give thanks in all things. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.